Hey.
What's up?
Good morning, everybody. And by everybody, I mean all 8 of you. We are thrilled to be here. Why are you laughing?
You're new here.
You're not bringing anybody new to the table.
Tim looks so weird right now.
Listen, and our camera's a little bit wonky. We've got a cross table hat on a plant that's going to be explained at some point.
That's falling off, too.
It's the Monday after daylight savings time, and we always talk about how difficult daylight savings time is, but boy, oh boy, am I tired today. I feel like I might be more tired today than I was yesterday, and that's because yesterday was Sunday.
And today is
You
morning.
always get it wrong, Frank. How many times have you been this? That's because yesterday was Sunday.
And this is the morning after.
I can't find the button to push. Hang on. There we go. Boom. Nailed it.
Welcome to the Morning After Ministry Show, a caffeine-fueled look back on the week and ministry that was.
Was that delayed?
Yeah.
Yes. That's delayed. It's a whole thing. Don't worry. We're fine. Everything's fine. We're here. We're talking the week in ministry that was. It's been an exciting week in ministry.
If you're in the comments,
I'm sure.
comment.
Yeah,
Talk to us.
Let us know what's going on.
Tell us where you're watching from.
So that we don't have to just keep talking to ourselves. But that's fine. We'll do that anyway. Tim looks way different. You're absolutely right. We don't know what happened to him. It could be worse. He could have the dreadlocks again.
He got off the
The
testosterone.
question is the mustache better or the dreadlocks
Yeah,
better?
he fired his doctor, and he looks way different now.
The dreads were something, let me tell you. Also, because he's not here, I got him behind his back. The dreads did not smell good. They
I imagine. Those wouldn't be the
when we first moved into our current house, I think we had 3 kids and they had 4, so we were like one kid away from where our families ended up, and we had a pool, and they're like, "Sweet, we're coming over." And so like we had been, I don't even think we were officially moved in yet. Like it was a family house situation where it was my in-laws' house before it was ours. And so we're like in this empty house with this giant pool. So Tim comes over, he brings the kids, we're all having a good time, like grilling out. But back when we were all super poor, so we were grilling out like whatever the on-sale hot dogs were that week, you know? And Tim brings out this oatmeal shampoo. He's like, "What?" I'm like, "I figured I'd wash my dreads while I'm in the pool."
In the pool?
In the pool. He's washing his dreads.
That's a biohazard.
In oatmeal shampoo. And it was a thing, you know? He just...
And you're still friends.
We're still friends. I mean,
that's good.
I think that was 2013. So I think we've both grown up a little bit since then. He smells better in general than he did then, but we're back. We're doing all the things, and Tim is outside gigging this week. And if you truly understood the economics of Tim's side gig, you would not blame him for not being here this week. But I got to say, I am a little bit hurt.
Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank said his 2 favorite industries to buy into is weddings and funerals.
Yeah.
Because people don't think about how much money they're going to spend.
No, they just do it.
And so Tim is in the
Tim
funeral
is
business.
in the funeral industry, and boy, oh boy.
Like father, like son, too.
It's a good day to know some dead people, and
man.
We miss him. I don't know why you find that so funny. Listen, we live in Florida.
Hey, I told you earlier, on the way here, following my GPS, I almost hit 4 ladies on golf carts.
And if you would have,
Or they
Tim
almost
would
hit
have
me.
given their grieving families business cards and said, "Hey, someone needs to live stream that funeral."
And you know what? That could also be like a way to raise support.
You could. Listen, as a missionary in a post-Christian country, you got to find some kind of tent-making activity. And what better way to make a tent than out of human skin? I don't.
No. Okay, move on.
Okay,
Next segment. Next segment.
That was all from Andrew's head. None of that came from me.
Also, Zach and I met this morning for the first time, so he doesn't know me well enough.
First impressions.
To
I
know-
watched probably a podcast, but
he
it's
doesn't know
it's
me well
another
enough to know
experience.
just how weird sometimes this can be.
It's another
And
experience watching you and actually sitting next to you. So
Be honest. Am I balder in person? There's
I take the 5th.
there's a whole lot of pharmaceutical intervention happening to keep this a little bit on top. But hey, I don't even know what you're working with under the hat. So what can I say? This is what I'm rocking, and I'm
What can I
proud
say?
of it. Except you're welcome. That's what I learned from Moana. Gentlemen, yesterday was Sunday.
And today,
Dang it, Frank.
and this is the morning after. And
CJ, we are going to not.
Pinch. Pinch. Classic reference.
yeah, that's how like Tim warms up.
Yeah.
Like before a sermon, he just says that word, that phrase.
Pitch some tense. Pitch some tense. And that's his vocal exercises. But
Do you have a vocal? Do you warm up your voice?
no. And
I need to
don't-
talk to someone who does. My voice is like weak sometimes on Sunday mornings.
I warm up for preaching the way that I warmed up for competitive soccer. Show up and know that I'm not as good as some other
You
people
show
out
up,
there.
drink a white monster, and like, let's freaking do this. And you play Creed in the background.
I don't drink any. I drink water and maybe black coffee before preaching.
Okay.
And I don't do a read through before. I know you do a big read through.
Yeah,
Each and every
I do.
sermon so that you have. I do a read through.
I guess that is my warm up.
But you do an out loud read through every week.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to sit through their process up in Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin,
they have
you
a
got
very
The
detailed
critique process on Thursdays. Yeah.
Listen, I was the 6th pastor in 5 years when I got here 9 years ago.
Wait, 6 and 5 years.
Yeah, it was a whole. Now, so there was the founding pastor that brought us into our current denomination. It was a whole big thing with a dismissal from the PCUSA. Also, gentlemen, there's windows. You don't know this. I get distracted very easily. How do we feel about the Legacy Bronco? I really like it.
I thought you were going to talk about that like French hat.
No, that
I thought you were going to talk about the beret
no,
too.
those
That's what I call the
are some
beret,
of our
Frank.
neighbors. There's, yeah.
the French hat.
Is it not French?
Frank does not.
It
Frank
is.
does not live in Central Europe, and
it
that is
it
apparent
is French,
right
but we
now.
call it a beret. It's all good. I'll help you out.
Listen,
In America, they're green. The Green Berets.
City Lights Church. I tried to shave it off in 2018, and my wife said that I would need to lose 40 pounds or look like a thumb, and so instead of losing weight, I just started to spend money on hair pills and Rogaine. So that's what we're working with. But no, I do not read through anything. I think the church, by the time I was here, they're like, hey, there's a warm body. We're so happy he's here. That
He's breathing.
So
He's
again,
standing
we had founding pastor, a unintentional interim that came in after, and then we had an intentional interim whose contract was dissolved before it ended, and then another Shirley, who's on staff here, had to be given a ministry license so that someone was allowed to serve communion in our denominational setting, and then another interim pastor who fell and broke his hip, and I started then 3 months before I was supposed to start because he was supposed to be the interim through that summer so that I could transition well at the previous church. So there were 5 pastors before me, and I got hired in 2017, and the church moved into this building in 2013. So really, I was the 6th pastor in like 4 years. So
That's just exhausting.
it,
to listen to.
but again, because of that, there was not a whole arduous process of, hey, we want to hear your sermon prep to make sure it's up to snuff. It was we want a warm body who isn't gonna suck.
At Epicos, you guys, I think it's like once you get on stage on Sunday, it's like the 4th or 5th time you've actually kind of delivered it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
they've
sorry,
changed the
CJ.
process.
This is awesome. CJ says, "I don't read through because you can't manufacture the Holy Spirit moving." Just kidding. I get to the church at 7 a.m. for the 11 a.m. service. I read through the night before when I'm making my slides. That's my big read through. Is my slide manufacturing process is my editing and read through.
Like by the time I left Epicos, they just like they've even changed it. So like 4 weeks out, three or 4 weeks out, you like begin the process of like having your sermon critiqued, and definitely by like the week before, you're like preaching it and you're gonna get ripped apart. So yeah, you would preach it multiple times in that.
Wait, so you basically have to have your outline, and if you're in a series, that I get that because then you know where you're going. And
you
everything.
basically have your full outline done now at Epicos. Now it would be like 2 weeks before
Okay.
the full outline's done. But beforehand, you would just need to have like your thesis statement, main idea, that kind of stuff. So that was helpful. I even at Epicos, I still did a read through Sunday morning, just so that because I just had this issue is I can't be the first time I look at my notes and speak my sermon be the first service. I can't do it.
Frank has just said that he's going to be shaving his head soon. That's certainly a topic for. Is this like before the launch? What's the plan to just enter the season of Crossing Crown fully embracing your likeness with The Rock?
I think one day I'm just gonna go for it and just like.
How would Corey feel?
She doesn't want me to. She wants me to keep my hair.
She wants you to keep fighting.
And I keep showing her. I'm like, we're living in the same reality, right? Like, you see what's going on.
Frank, you are so tall. She has not seen the top of your head in years.
Have you seen the Luther movie?
Yes.
I feel like that's my hair.
My
right
kids
now.
go to a Lutheran school, so they come back every. Dad, have you seen this movie? It's so good.
Honestly,
it's a
the Luther
great
movie rules.
It is so
top
good.
5 Christian films of all time, easily. But yeah, that like monk donut ring thing. Dude.
Have you attempted pharmaceutical interventions?
Yes.
Is this difficult to talk about?
I think I had like Hims.
Okay.
The shampoos that they give.
The
out.
shampoos are garbage. I mean,
I don't think I've ever done the actual pill.
So the shampoos, you have to leave it. So I have.
This is literally what this podcast is like.
There's a whole lot of ministry.
What are we talking about?
We used
morning
to say that this was just enough ministry so that we don't feel guilty hanging out on Monday mornings on the clock, and so that's kind of.
Hey,
but
I almost took the Luther thing to like steer it to something else.
Oh yeah.
Like, by the way, did you know who God used to inspire Martin Luther?
Who?
Jan Hus, a Czech reformer.
Yes.
Wow. I actually knew that. Yeah.
But let me talk about these pills.
We get it, but also, Frank, the like licorice root shampoo has to like stay on your head for like a good 15-20 minutes to absorb anything.
Oh.
So
Licorice root.
That's like one of
Putting
the
Twizzlers in your
I
hair.
know, but Twizzlers in my hair. But
I think it's black licorice.
The worst.
That's the truth.
You got to go to Cracker Barrel to get that stuff. It's terrible. Just chew it up.
This is such niche content.
No, it's not. We are a bunch of pastors in our late 30s, early 40s. We're all going bald. It's a thing.
When you see an older gentleman like in his 50s with a full head of hair, I'm like,
We were just
I'm
talking
so
about Derek
jealous.
on Shrinking, and every time I see him, I'm like, man, what would I give to have that head of hair? That guy.
That guy.
He's got a great head of hair.
That guy.
It's fantastic. CJ says one of the first in-person things, Frank. First of all, you've like known this person online for years. First real conversation was, when did you know it was time to shave your head? Frank, I had a conversation with Frank and Tim Wildsmith in California in like 2016, and we were sitting around a table and it's like, all right, guys, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? And
funny.
none of us have shaved our heads yet. So
Yeah, we're persevering.
there you go. Wildsmith's
Tim Wildsmith's
hair,
got-
it looks great.
He looks great. He got tattoos. He's a handsome dude. All right. Hey,
let's go into the ministry thing.
Yeah.
So, boy, I woke up. I feel like I just had about 3 or 4 shots of espresso. I'm energized now. I was dragging this morning. I was dragging yesterday morning. I was slurring my words. I was messing up announcements. I think people were concerned for a little bit when I started the service.
There might have been that 7th pastor.
Yeah, for real. I was so the end of when I finished the sermon yesterday. We're week 26 of our John series, and we're getting through. I feel like we have like now we're just like full speed ahead because we're finishing the week after Easter, and we are just now in week 16. So it's taken us 26 weeks to get through 15 and a half chapters, and now we've got 5 weeks to do like 6.5 chapters. So it's gonna feel like we're covering a whole lot. But I am only referred to as Dr. Larson sarcastically around here. No one is like, this is our pastor, Doctor. It's almost a term of endearment, but it's more of a term of, hey, you know this idiot? He's got a doctorate. And so our worship leader's like, don't worry, guys. We'll make sure Dr. Larson is fully charged and ready to go by next week's sermon. That's how we ended the service, because I was just struggling. The daylight savings time hits me every year, but boy, oh boy, did it hit really hard yesterday morning. And my sermon was done by Tuesday. It's not like I was up late prepping. I don't know. Just that extra hour, it was very impactful to my brain.
I think it's also just aging, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like living overseas, even like my adjusting to times.
And you're not
each
over here
year-
for a long time.
No, I'm just 10 days in the States.
What time is it right now?
just just enough time to really mess you up. Are they 6 hours ahead of us?
5 hours right now because our
because-
time hasn't changed yet. So like I was saying earlier, I'm gonna have to go through this time change twice this year. Great planning on my part, right? I did it stateside, and then in 3 weeks or 2 weeks, I'll have to do it once I'm back. So it's like 5 o'clock.
Okay.
I don't understand. Someone in the comments tell me if the daylight savings affected you. I don't feel like an hour does that much.
Man, it wiped me out yesterday.
I mean, all right.
I don't know. I think for me, once I became a father, I think it hits different too.
I mean, to be fair, if your kids are on a bedtime, I can see how daylight savings affects that.
That's
How old are your kids?
8. Well, and I don't have them here with me right
Yes.
now. So, but 8, 6, and 8 months.
See, I am 15, 14, 15, 14, 12, 9, almost 10.
Okay.
And so my kids are like, we're on the opposite end of it where
Yeah.
this is now like the good one. Like, hey, we're the sun's going down later. We can be outside doing stuff later. But the fall back is the one that messed us up when the kids were little.
Yeah.
But now the extra get up an extra hour early with multiple middle schoolers and high schooler in the house was brutal yesterday.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I was here already. My wife was doing that by herself. All wives are single moms on Sunday mornings. If you're married to a pastor, I'm sorry, sweetheart. It's part of the gig. But yeah, that was rough. City Lights Church says, I go to bed 3 hours earlier on spring forward, so I gain sleep. That's one way to do it, I guess.
Wow.
That's
That's like hacking the system.
That's, yeah. But also, I was kind of hoping for, I didn't stay up and watch SNL, but I was
Ryan Gosling.
kind of hoping that they would do Beavis and Butthead again because it was just so funny the last time.
Ryan Gosling is the top 5 guest on SNL.
Did they? I haven't. I was asleep because I'm trying to get over
You're-
jet
They
lag.
did not do the Beavis and Butthead.
They
bit.
didn't.
They didn't.
Still haven't watched, but I
But Ryan
scrolled
Gosling
through.
is the new Justin Timberlake, who just like giggles
There.
and breaks every time.
And yet they were on the Mickey Mouse Club together.
Ironic.
They should just reminisce about all of their Mickey Mouse and they've done sketch comedy before. That's the secret. Get famous for not doing sketch comedy, and it turns out you're really good at sketch comedy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my morning. We did church. We did it well. It was exciting. It was the Sunday of spring forward attendance, so we had people rolling in midway through the second song, looking a little bit disheveled, but all in all, it was very good things. Very good things. Again, I am sleepy. I'm slurring my words. I
you
need
mean
more
to fill that
coffee.
up?
I might, but it's cold.
It's full of.
It's cold at this point. You can
Rum.
smell it. It's fine. I'm good.
Oh,
I'm a recovering Baptist. There's only black coffee in here.
wow. Tito's.
Look, this is important stuff. Heart attacks increased by 24% the Monday following spring forward. I get that because
Wait, somebody wrote that?
Yeah.
That's legit comment. Is that real?
yeah, 24% increase
Well,
in heart
you're
attacks.
saying it's
I'm
real.
assuming it's real. I don't think he's a liar.
It's in writing.
All of the adults
On
were
the
struggling
internet.
at church yesterday.
That makes
See?
it real.
It was not cold and raining here. It was a beautiful day. But the market on Main Street, we have a farmer's market that literally starts at the end of that House of Petals sign, and it goes down that whole street, and then there's a gazebo there. And so there's petting zoo and artisan bread and whatnot. And you could just tell the vendors setting up were miserable yesterday morning. But that's okay. They take our parking spots, so they're allowed to be miserable. That's not true. We love them. We're big fans. Laura says, when my husband was drumming in the worship band regularly, he always blocked off the first Sunday. Yep, see? That's the way to do it. Sorry, Planning Center. I cannot play that day. And see, I'm not the only one. Light attendance yesterday for Brian as well. There you go. So we did our service. Our fellowship time was awesome because people brought in really good food. We have a full-on meal every Sunday after service
I love that.
because I work here and I'm kind of chubby and I like to eat. So it just works
Well, I
out
mean,
really well.
it's actually very biblical.
It is. And that's people are like, why don't you guys move to a second service? Because then we would lose that, and there's enough if you want to find a bigger church around here, all you have to do is sneeze and it'll hit one. But
I have noticed that.
but
like,
nobody
driving around.
nobody does what we do every Sunday. We probably have 75% of our congregation that is at church a good 45 minutes after church ends, just drinking coffee and eating breakfast casserole together.
That's awesome.
The church that lingers lasts.
That's right. That's right. And boy,
Bookmark.
if there's one thing that I'm good at, it's lingering.
Hey, tell us about Czech.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on in the Czech Republic?
How's that segue?
Not that you would know because you haven't been there this weekend. It could be a completely different place.
Well, I was just talking to my wife before we started.
Okay, so
this
you know
all
then.
in
You're
Czech.
aware.
And it kind of spooked you a little bit when you heard me speak in Czech. And Frank has
It's-
never heard me speak
I would say
Czech,
it's
so-
not and I read your bio that Frank sent us, but in general I'm like, I don't know what language that is, and I feel like I should.
It's Czech.
Well, that makes sense because
Yeah.
it sounded European,
Yeah.
but I knew it wasn't Russian,
Well,
and it wasn't German,
well, I mean,
and it
it's-
wasn't
it's
French,
similar to Russian.
but it
It's
was
Slavic.
similar to German, and it was similar to Russian.
You guys have like really interesting characters.
No,
You
we
guys, as in like from Chicago. No.
You guys.
do you have?
No,
so
we
there's
don't.
no
We
like
don't
weird
actually
characters that
look
look
up.
boxy and upside down.
It's Latin, but we have accent
That was racist.
marks.
I said that.
It
Your
has
letters screwed up.
You're ethnically ambiguous enough, you can get away with it. It's fine.
It has accents, and
Cool.
actually Czech is the third hardest language for Americans to learn.
Really?
So yeah, behind Chinese,
Yeah.
Mandarin,
Makes sense.
and Arabic.
So how do you feel your Czech abilities are at this point when because you've been there 20 years, you said?
Yeah, over 20 years. I mean, I preach in Czech.
Okay.
I've done live TV interviews in Czech.
Okay.
So the last time I tested out at B1, which isn't too high, because it was for my citizenship test. But the last time before that, I tested out at C1, which is like basically upper, like 8th, 9th grade level of.
So you're a 10th grader.
Yeah, as far as the way I
there you
speak,
go.
yeah, you know.
That's great.
I mean,
I
for the
would-
third hardest language in the
That's-
world,
that's-
I'll
I-
take it.
See, but I just finished audiobooking Project Hail Mary, and he learned how to speak an alien language. Spoilers, sorry. And so, I'm less impressed because I just listened to a book in 16 hours and a dude learned how to speak in musical notes to an alien. But
Hey,
Was
man,
it a good
he's
book?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Good on that guy. Good
yeah,
on that guy
I
in
wanted
that.
to do the book before the movie came out.
So you can be that
So I
guy.
could be that guy who's like, oh, the
Not
book
as
was
good as the
so much
book.
better. That's how I feel about the Twilight books. But whatever, it's fine.
I only feel about that about one book because I only read one book on a movie.
What's that?
Ready Player One.
Okay. And how much better is the book?
The book is excellent.
And so
It's
doesn't
much
that make
better.
like if
But
a,
I don't.
if
Anyway.
a movie studio is spending millions of dollars to acquire the book and then adapt it, don't you think that's probably a book worth reading?
Yeah,
So I mean, Audible's a great thing.
it is great. Tell us more.
Back to the real ministry that's happening. So yeah, fill us in on what you're doing now, what led you to that.
Yeah, well,
Because I was not expecting the American football angle that you were telling us about earlier.
yeah, a surprise.
Surprise.
No, so I first went over to the Czech Republic for a internship for just under 2 years with Athletes in Action,
I'm
and
sorry. CJ says that checks out.
that checks out.
Well
Thanks.
done.
Well
done.
Yeah, I don't want CJ not to like me, even though we haven't met yet. So I'm not gonna, talk about that pun and
How offensive it is.
I've heard it a few times in my life. I went over to be a missional insider in the American football world. My dad was a football coach. I played college football. I went over and did that for a bunch of years.
Big deal. So did Frank.
Yeah. I did that for a bunch of years, transitioned into coaching. It was a unique opportunity to be an expert in something in a very secular culture where it's like I could be amongst them and they could see that my faith impacted my daily decisions. And at the same point, I was involved with a church plant. I guess you could say a traditional church plant in many ways. And at one point, our pastor burned out. Which
I'm
happens.
listening. I'm just going to adjust the camera. Listen, it was so foggy this morning that we looked great, and now that the sun's out, we look like a bunch of ghosts. And Frank.
We do. So so he burned out. We were burned everyone out around us. We went from having these amazing musicians to no musicians, and we said, "Hey, what can we do?" So we started just doing a normal gathering or service every other week, and then we started doing something called kolom stolu, which means around the table. And literally, we just pushed all the tables together, ate, and prayed, and talked about what God was doing in life. And we did less, and we started seeing God do more in the depth of relationships and the depth of discipleship. And then COVID hit. Mm-hmm. And that little band that was still together through all that kind of dissipated.
Central Europe, they took those lockdowns pretty seriously.
Well, gosh, man. We couldn't leave Prague proper. So, like, you had to stay in your county at one point.
Wow.
That was for Prague.
We have church members that were former military. He was civilian liaison to the base commander over in Berlin. So he's like retired military, and then was like a contractor kind of thing. And you could only have one person to your house. You could not have another couple over to your house. You could have one guest at your house at a time.
It got serious. I mean, well, here's...
And the Germans are really good at tattling on each other. I don't know if you know any history, but...
Czechs are pretty good at that, too.
It's almost like there's a shared trauma there.
Yeah, there is shared
We
trauma.
probably don't have quite the time to get into all of that, but read a history book, people.
To talk about that, though, like, so... They lifted it after the first wave, right? So they lifted that, and then next day, some avant-garde artist in Prague, like, hey, let's put a bunch of tables together across the Charles Bridge, and then put tablecloths over it, and they were trying to break a world record, and I wanted to go because tables are a thing and whatnot, but then I thought to myself, I also don't want to get COVID. They just lifted all these things, and so I'm watching it and reading about it. I'm like, I told my wife, things are going to get really bad this fall. It's going to be really bad once this circles around. And we were like third in the worst in the world for like deaths.
Do you
per
think
capita.
that's just the population density? Is it?
It's partly that, and it just got like people did so well on the front end, and then it's like, why'd we do this?
Then they
like,
got so. I mean, that's how Florida was because we shut down when everybody in the country shut down. But Florida did not. We were not bad until the fall. But at that point, it was like, nope, we're not shutting down anything ever again. This is the free state of Florida. You can eat wherever you want to eat. You can eat whatever you want to eat.
Yep.
And so there was just, it was mayhem.
Yeah. So I kind of changed the game, and then coming out of that, with football, there's lots I could say about this. There's lots that hasn't been said about it, and whatnot. But we took the team to a professional league. It didn't work out. I was working 100-hour weeks. My wife had work pushed on her behind my back. Son's anxiety levels were through the roof. And we're like, okay, we're done. So we pulled out. I work for Converge, which is a commonality that Frank and I have together. And they're like, you got to take a 4-month sabbatical, and you can't argue with us. And through that, we were praying, and we were like, let's get back to this around the table thing. So now my wife and I are about a year and a half into a new chapter where we want to see God set 112 tables. Tables is what we say for microchurches in 112 neighborhoods of Prague.
That's cool.
Leading to gospel saturation, Lord willing, in the next 10 to 20 years.
And then with that, is there a centralized teaching time, or is it just okay? So like, hey, here's the scripture we want you to read and discuss.
Well, we're not there yet. So like, we're at the front end of this. So really, like, one of our basic tools is, if you guys want to check it out, Google Discovery Bible Studies.
And we will have. Hang
show
on,
notes.
and we'll put stuff in the show notes, and I will paste stuff now.
I could send you that link too. So what the thought is we set tables, and we use this Discovery Bible Study as one of our main tools, where we ask our friends who don't know Jesus yet, if they'd like to come over for a good meal and to read about this guy Jesus. And we're not talking about religion, or we're not talking about church, because Czechs are pretty adverse to the institutional church for a bunch of historical reasons we could talk about. And so the hope is that as we start these Discovery Bible Studies, those Discovery Bible Studies are going to develop and become microchurches. So, and then as you have geographically a few tables or microchurches, then you see what we call a big table form, where several of these microchurches are under leadership, and they come together every 4 weeks. And that you have more of an equipping time and more of a celebration time. And then eventually we hope to have hubs over those that are going to be even more equipping and sending. So that's kind of in the a really quick summarization of it. So I'm really excited about it because what do you do in a post-Christian culture
Yeah.
where people are never going to set foot into a church setting? So let's not try to force them into that church setting, but meet in places that they're comfortable with. And a lot of times when I'm here in the States, I say, hey, you guys do Sundays. I'm not against Sundays. I just know there's even around here, plenty of people probably around here we could see from your windows that might never set foot in a church.
Yeah.
How could we live in a way where we could say, hey, come to our table? And I like to say that if you look at the Gospel of Luke, Jesus was like the original foodie. He was always at a table. So much so that he was accused of being a glutton and a drunkard, right? By the religious elite. So it's like Jesus always was the guest at the table. But by the end of the meal, he was the host. And when Jesus becomes the host of the table, Lord willing, he becomes the host of the hearts. So that's our whole thing, and there's a bunch more in it. Like, we love to start some benevolent businesses to create culture and jobs and just see gospel saturation happen in the city of Prague.
So how little is the gospel saturation in Prague now? Like, what is the footprint of the evangelical church?
Less than 1/3 of 1%.
Wow.
Less than 1/3 of 1%.
So 0.3, less than that.
See,
That's the average for Czech.
we were talking earlier. I was in the UK and Scotland. I think it's like they're about 2% evangelical, and that's
And Aberdeen's there, right?
yeah.
That's crazy.
Some of the greatest
Oh, yeah.
Christian academic institutions in the world are in Scotland, and 2% of the populace is evangelical. But 2% is
I'd take 2%,
huge
man.
compared to
0.3.
That's that's
mean,
like
there's some
7 times.
There's some spots in the Czech Republic where it's like 0.1, and then there's nowhere is at 1%. It's like I think the highest, if I remember off the top of my head.
So talk
is
about a
0.7.
countercultural movement. You don't
Exactly.
you don't get more countercultural than less than 0.5%.
Yes. Yeah, so it's crazy. And there's different stats as far as atheism and skepticism goes. We have a lot more terms now. So about 15 years ago, there was a census, and roughly 89% of Czechs said, I'm Czech, I'm an atheist. But now we have lots more terms there. There's the non-religious or nons or irreligious or agnostic is a term that now kind of exists. It didn't exist 20 years ago. An interesting thing, since you guys are both either Disney fans or movie fans, and one of the last censuses, more people checked the box other and wrote in Jedi than actually checked the box for evangelical
Listen,
Christian.
if you are not familiar with the Unity Life Church in Modesto, California, you can be ordained online for free, but it's $10 to become a Jedi. But you get a certificate; it's probably worth it.
So I feel like you've looked into this a little.
I have,
than-
yes. We have.
Everyone needs a side hustle.
Listen, we have a student here in the youth group, and her graduation present. We have one senior. I think we have like 14 on a Wednesday night, and her graduation present from the youth group is that she'll be made a Jedi by a cult that I probably shouldn't be giving money to. Maybe I shouldn't be saying any of this out loud, but whatever, it's fine.
So, but that also shows you the Czech sense of humor.
Yeah.
I mean, they have this. They're like the king of trolling. They also like an example I like to share is the street that the Russian embassy is on. They've changed the name of that street to the Street of Ukrainian Heroes. so it's just like you learn a lot about it Czechs with that. But the thing that stinks is when they point that trolling towards you, then that gets tough.
Yes. So who do they troll the most based on the history of the Czech Republic? There's I was like,
Russia.
Okay, I was gonna say there are a lot of potential trolls there.
Yes, Russia.
Okay.
Russia, and then probably German-speaking folks, because German-speaking folks have done some pretty
That's
bad things.
really the question I was trying to ask without asking. Was it Germans or Russians? Who's
no, probably Russians are number one.
Okay.
For sure. And
It's
then German-speaking.
recency bias.
Yeah.
Do the Czechs like Americans?
Well, the question is when. Right now, I'd say that it's a little bit more challenging these days.
Sure.
Than it's been in the past.
Has that affected your ministry, or because you married one, they're like, he's one of us?
I have an accent, so like no matter what, I have an accent, and I'm working on my citizenship. I can be dual, and I even had one friend say, once you even get that passport, it's just paper. It's like, ouch. So there's a pride to the Czech people,
Yeah.
which makes sense. I understand it. But also, that's hard sometimes too.
I love
So
it.
it does help my street cred having a Czech wife.
Yeah.
It does help that I speak well, even though I have an accent and still make some mistakes. Even the passport will help. People are like, okay, he's serious. Because like at one point, Converge, when stuff started to get, a little hairier with Russia and Ukraine, they're like, all right, we need to update our exit plans. And I'm like, just so you guys know, I'm not leaving here. Like, I'm here. Like, I'm not going to be one of those guys that's like, things are getting rough, peace out. I'm here, so.
Did your kids speak English?
Yeah, I speak. It was really rough. Like Misha and I, that's my wife Misha. Hi Misha. She and I spoke primarily Czech for the first couple of years of our marriage. She speaks English well, but she's about 6 months into Oliver's, our oldest son's existence. She's like, okay, in front of him, you're going to speak English, and I'm going to speak Czech. Even together, we do that, and it messed my head up because I was so used to speaking Czech to her to like.
Yeah.
Hear Czech and they respond in English, and now it's normal for us. But they speak, for the most part, they speak English like Americans, and they speak Czech like Czechs.
There's so many better cartoons for them to have that way. There's. Is Bluey translated into Czech yet?
I don't believe so.
See?
But we watch Bluey, of
But
course.
and now they can speak English with an Aussie accent as well.
Yeah, and their best friends are Czech British kids.
See?
So like they'll drop these little.
So they can do
these
Peppa
British
Pig
things.
too.
Yeah, I'm not a big Peppa fan.
Well, no. Ever since Bluey came out, what's the point?
No, because I don't like the way they make the dad look in Peppa Pig. Like that, I take offense to that. Like us dads need to take offense.
Because
to
he's got glasses and a mustache.
Man, that hit a little too deep. No, just because he's kind of like a bumbling fool.
Yeah, but that's every sitcom ever. You can't do you not watch Everybody Loves Raymond because Ray's an idiot?
Well, I don't watch that in general. So.
Well.
But like Bluey, I mean,
Yes.
Bluey's dad, like
he's great.
He's great, and that's what I want. I try to be like.
He
Bluey's
is probably the best sitcom dad there ever has
dad.
been.
This is true. So yeah, so that's a bit of what we got going on.
So is it weird to still be seen? I don't know, a foreigner, outsider, or different when, I'm assuming you've spent more of your life in
it's
in
about
Prague
half and half now.
than,
Yeah.
but you moved away at 18 to go to college, so you weren't living at home. So you've lived in Prague longer than any
Anywhere.
other city that you've ever lived in, and yet you'll never fully be. We could get really spiritual, but this world is not our home. That's
Actually, we could get super spiritual with that, but honestly, that's one of the things I could just come back to over and over again. Because, to be honest with you, like even when I come back to the States now, I don't fit in here. And even though I've lived more time of my life over there, I still grew up in the States, so I don't fit in completely there. So those verses, my citizenship is in heaven, and I'm an ambassador to the kingdom before I'm an ambassador to America or even to Czech or the EU when I'm in America. It might sound super spiritual, but it's how I get through.
we have two unrelated questions coming in. These are very important. Number one, where can I get a hat? Do you want to discuss the hat, the logo?
Yes, the logo. So guys, you can see it there or here on my computer.
Let him answer the question first, and then answer the second one.
Okay. I actually got it here too on my computer. But hey, so guys, so what we do is called Around the Table. And most people, Frank, when I saw their brand, I'm like, hey, dude, feel the crown. I love it.
Yeah,
And
that's great.
and I'm like, so people see the crown, which is obvious. But one of the things I didn't say earlier is when Jesus becomes the host of the table becomes four things. You see this clearly in the scriptures. The table becomes a refuge. People are made whole. Their lives are changed. It becomes a feast where they feast on the grace of God and just joy and celebration. Then it becomes an altar where Jesus is worshipped. And then we, as I told the guys earlier, just because of history we've even hit on a little bit, I don't like to use military terms in Europe. So I talk more about God's, as it's a relationship in wooing or adventure. So the table becomes a voyage where we equip people at the table and send them out from the table. So if you look at that logo, you could see it. You could see the refuge, a tent or a cave of sorts. You could see people at a table. You could see the altar. That's pretty easy. And then you could see a voyage. You could see the sailboat there represented. So I think that worked out really well. It tells our story. It tells people some of our identity even, and how things look, because we try to embed those 4 things that the table becomes into how we see formation, apprenticeship, discipleship happen, how we see evangelism happen, and how we really live. So
It's a sick logo.
Thanks.
And I love icons that have like quadruple meanings.
yeah, and we have icons specifically for each of those 4 things separate that we also could play with some of that branding. But somebody asked to get one. Drop me herodovi.com. Herodovi is Herods in Czech. That's our website. And you guys, if you want, you could even download a free Bible study. I'm one of those missionaries that realizes like there's lots of missionaries out there that are like, please give me a check, sir. We need to feed our family this week, which is I need to do that too. But I always try to live in such a way where I can give back to each and every church that partners with us. We try to do that. So there's a Bible study you could download on our website. But if you're interested, drop me a message through there, and we could talk. I also got those stickers and some stuff too. So, yeah.
And then the Can I Pray For You? That is our buddy Ryan. He's the guy that runs church merch for your church. And Can I Pray For You is a movement that he started. It's a really cool story. There's T-shirts, hats, stickers, and it's just this idea of being ready to pray for people. He was at Practically Pastoring Conference and had a bunch of hats that were gone in like 2 seconds.
hats were so cool.
I didn't get one.
I didn't get
because
one
they were
either.
just like they were gone immediately. And the number of people that we heard from that like were wearing one of the T-shirts or the hats in the airport going home that were stopped by strangers like, hey, yeah, could you pray for me?
Yeah.
And so it's just this movement that he started of praying for people in public where that, so often if you go up to someone's like, hey, let me pray for you, or would you like me to pray? But having just this posture of, hey, it's a sticker on the laptop, it's on the T-shirt, it's on the hat. I have an air freshener in my car that he was giving out to like Uber drivers that were followers of Christ. And yeah, see, that makes sense now.
That makes
sense.
sense
So it's not
now.
someone honking at a red light, like,
Yes.
hey, will you pray?
We talked about that earlier. Just
Because
so you know.
he had given an Uber driver a T-shirt, and she's like, this is great,
but
but
they can't see it.
if I'm sitting in my car, no one can see it, and so that's why the air freshener, and the air fresheners also smell really good, so that helps as well.
Do you ever use it in place of deodorant?
I don't.
I just was wondering.
No, I'm sweaty
Is
enough.
that a Czech thing?
No, I actually, when I saw that, I thought, oh, look at those people want to pray for us. Of course, you can pray
Yes.
for us.
Yeah.
I can give you some prayer requests.
It is a really cool thing, and you should check out. There's a Facebook group, the Can I Pray For You community, that's just kind of like, here's what's working. There's a book coming out. There's like a whole kit coming out. It's
You can do like packages for your church,
Yeah.
and like I think Lakeview did a big
Yes.
thing for their prayer team.
And so it's like a
pretty
Can I
cool.
Pray For You shirt with the church logo. It's a really cool thing by a very entrepreneurial guy.
It was a great dude.
It's
Great dude.
It's a really I'm thrilled with it. So yes, you should definitely check it out.
And in Czech, it would be, jak se za vás můžu modlit.
Listen, you should reach out to Ryan and
Ryan, let's do some cross branding. I'm looking you up right now. I have actually a really cool. Can I share a story about this?
Absolutely.
So, I have a friend that works with another organization in Czech, and I did some training things with them and whatnot. And one of the things that he challenged people to do was, obviously, not pray. Like in Czech, it's even a huge, bigger jump, right? It's like an alien language.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, hey, when I'm out, I always say, you know what? Whenever I'm having a tough time, I always talk to Jesus. We don't usually use the word God. We just the only 2 words I use that are religiously words are Jesus and Bible. I try to cut out all those other words in Czech, even God. I just talk about Jesus. But I say, hey, I always talk to Jesus, and somehow he always finds a way. Do you mind if I talk to him for you? And it's crazy, even in this setting we have, how often people are like, oh, sure. And then I won't like close my eyes and do this. I'll be like, hey, Jesus, thanks that you listened to us. Thanks that you're here. Would you help this guy with this? And I was out on date night with my wife at the Italian restaurant kind of across the corner, and Lubos, the server, was there, and I noticed his hand, so I just asked him, and I said, "Hey, Lubos, you mind if I talk to Jesus for you?" And it was such this cool, like, real moment, and now he's not working there. He's been moved, but every time after that, he'd see me walking by to go to the metro, and he'd come out and greet me, and we'd talk some. So it's like, even in a very post-Christian setting, if you do it in a way that's honoring and not creepy, it's still a little subversive, obviously, but it's embraced. So anyway,
I love that.
Andrew, I'm hungry.
Frank, well, then you need to tell us about what you did this weekend,
Oh,
about your new hand-me-down church gear.
ready? I'll do it really fast.
All right, on your mark, get set, go.
I went to Orlando, the Cross and Crown headquarters. Sorry, Cross and Crown.
Wow.
The Converge National
Wow.
Headquarters.
We're going
I didn't know that
global.
you took
I don't
over
know.
Converge.
No, the Converge headquarters. There was a church plant that is no longer, and they had some equipment that they were looking to give to a up-and-coming church plant. So I was able to get it, and it's just like these really big storage things. So that's really cool. That led to me thinking, I don't have any more room in my garage for all this Cross and Crown stuff.
Yeah, you
So-
had a U-Haul contract pulled up, and I was like, Frank, are you moved? Like, you just bought your house. What
No,
are you-
yeah, I had to literally buy a big truck to get all the stuff out of my garage, and I moved it to a storage unit. And so now Cross and Crown is multi-site because we have a storage unit and we have a location we're going to be on Sunday. So that's exciting. And then this past weekend, I went to Oakwood Community Church in Carrollwood, Florida, which is basically a suburb in Tampa, a neighborhood in Tampa. And there, I was able to go to the church that my wife grew up in, and a church where a lot of people from the church I grew up in now attends. And so that was my week.
It's exciting stuff.
Thank
So
you.
the rolling carts that you got,
Yeah.
so it's like Sunday school in a box kind of thing?
Yeah, so like for example, there's this big they're like big. They're like 6'5" and they're like wide. And so
I'm
inside
thinking of the carts that they used on Breaking Bad when they were, cooking in people's houses, pretending to be fumigators, like roadie cases for a band.
I've never watched Breaking Bad because I'm not into meth. So but these big cases, they roll open and
Pretty sure there's a Czech Republic component to Breaking Bad as well, by the way.
There's like a
I know there's a
TV.
German component, but
and then like all your stuff for your kids ministry can be like in this one big case that you can roll into a
you
classroom.
like roll it in, you open it, and it's like,
The TV is there. You just plug your laptop in, and then bam, bam, you do all the things.
okay.
And so there's that. One of the other cases is going to be the case that we're going to put all of our like speakers and subwoofers in.
Nice.
And then the other one, this is really cool. It's kind of open, and in the bottom is going to hold all the stuff for the nursery.
Okay.
But on one of the side walls of this box opens to a changing table. So now I have a portable changing table wherever we have the nursery. Wow. So it's a pretty cool setup. I'm really excited about
I
it.
hope you
It was
have
a great
brakes on the
acquisition.
wheels.
There are brakes.
And I hope that it's a very heavy case, because you put a fat baby on that changing table, it could tip the whole thing over. You don't want to. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
If there's a fat baby, the baby's safe.
Okay, good to know. Fat baby approved. Cross
All
and
fat
Crown
babies
Church.
are safe at Cross and Crown.
That's what I like to hear.
From the global headquarters. in
From the
Orlando.
global headquarters of Cross and Crown.
The global national
Cross and Crown worldwide.
global senior pastor.
Global senior pastor, the Bishop Frank Gill.
Yeah, you had to go to Bishop at that point. You can't be a global senior pastor. It's got to be Bishop Frank Gill.
I mean, with the table fellowship kind of idea, you could claim bishophood real easily. It's like
What's the Czech way to not use the term bishop, but to make it more like I'm important person over multiple tables?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, bishop. It's just-
Bishop. I see like
Governor.
and no, see all those things like are so cringe, right? Because like they like Czechs have real aversion to leadership.
Yeah.
So that's why decentralized
Yeah.
decentralized things are important in our context.
We've surpassed the time our viewers can
Yes.
stay.
Listen, it is lunchtime for everybody, and that includes us. So definitely go check out the Can I Pray For You website. We've got that in there, and it'll be in the notes if you're listening on podcast. And then how do I say your website? That because I'm gonna mess it up if I try.
You just say Herod Ovi. I mean,
Herod Ovi.
Yeah, Ovi makes it plural, so that's
Oh,
the
the
Herods.
Herods.
The Herods.
I just learned some Czech.
You did. Hey, you guys want to know a really learn? You
Are
can
you
all
gonna
learn
teach us
a
a cuss
really.
word?
No, I'm not gonna do that. I never.
Do you have a favorite Czech cuss word? It's okay. This is like the outro of the podcast. There's music playing right now.
No,
So it's fine.
So an easy one is ahoy.
like
That
Is that a
means-
cuss word? Or
like a
Hello,
hoy captain.
it's we're a
Ahoy?
landlocked country, but we talk like pirates. I always joke around that. So ahoy is a friendly greeting you could say to a friend. Ahoy.
Ahoy. I'm saying it. I'm doing
So no, I'm not gonna dive into.
Don't
the,
do any cuss words.
The favorite
ahoy.
cuss words.
Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Hey, we will see you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.